Man, these guys talking big topics. Guys like this, allergic to small talk. What's the weather? Achoo! You see the game? Achoo! Miss me, bitch. It's big topic.
Record. All right. So, by the way, in that very brief break, I went to CNN.com and I saw it. Kanye West has a disturbing history of admiring Hitler. Did you see this story?
I did. Like he wanted to name an album after him.
Exactly.
What is going on with him right now?
He's going off
dude?
the rails, dude. we might need to do an episode on him.
I think we might.
Awesome.
Dude, I waited in line for his record, his second album at Tower Records, like when that was a thing, like at midnight when it came out on Tuesday at midnight. I think I was probably, I don't know, in high school or somewhere around there. When I don't remember
what record with that is that graduation or what is that?
I don't remember what. Yeah,
Anyways,
my fandom didn't really last.
Yeah, I guess not. The only thing I ever waited in line for was Call of Duty. At midnight, a couple of Call of Duties, got real into that. But anyways, I had a feeling this would happen, that we'd go over, and here we are in overtime. So I did. God, sorry.
I read that whole intro all over again for this one.
No. Yeah, exactly. Let's establish the landscape too, and go through all the rest.
Again. We just do the exact same thing over again and run out of time again. I don't know how we're gonna post this one, if it's gonna be the following week or if it'll be bonus content. But we're talking about the Montreal Screwjob, famous match between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. We're actually not really talking about the match very much. We're talking basically about nostalgia wrestling from the late 90s and early 2000s.
As you put it, it's an excuse to talk about wrestling.
Yeah, dude.
Which we both very much desired, but to know how to break it to each other without having a topic.
Yeah, I can't believe that we evolved from maybe being a conspiracy podcast to just like an interesting topics podcast to now we're just like, do you want to just meet up weekly and talk about wrestling?
It's just a wrestling podcast at this point, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah,
what do you got?
Like I said, God, so I like my notes are just all over the place. My brain is scrambling. Because I was watching the documentary, I was watching the match itself.
Tell me about that. I didn't watch that at all.
Yeah, so I watched the match. So they have these theatrical entrances where Shawn Michaels is walking to the ring with Hunter Hearst Helmsley. It's a wonder why I didn't say that. Yeah. I didn't keep that name because it's so hard to say. And at one point Shawn Michaels is like, "Where are we going? I don't really know how to get to the ring." so they're like helping Shawn Michaels navigate through the arena to get to the ring. He gets in, does this whole thing. Pyrotechnics are just mind blowing. He does like the flex. It's just awesome. And then like I said, then it really blows up when Bret, the Hitman Hart, walks in, stone-faced,
Canadian
ready
king,
to just fucking murder Michaels, dude. They go in there,
like for real, too.
They don't even. That was one of the things I wanted to bring up, by the way.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, when they start the match, so the whole theme is that they didn't even officially start the match. They just hate each other so much, so they just went right into it.
I love that.
And what follows is Bret just like beating the fuck out of Shawn Michaels for like 8 minutes straight. He just keep doing that like head pound thing where they it's
like stomping on the ground and like pretending to hit him on the top of the head.
Yeah,
the crowd just going wild.
Yeah, they're so awesome at selling it. But Bret brings Shawn into the crowd and just starts beating the fuck out of him in the crowd. And this is like, he honestly probably hits him like in the head with like a hard like right, like I don't know, 30, 40 times. And Michaels is just like stunned momentarily and then like right back in it.
Chewing his gum.
Exactly. And then, so the big thing is like the momentum swings where like one guy just kicks the other guy's ass and then the other guy kicks the other guy's ass.
Yeah.
And, it goes back.
That's how real fights work, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Once you start tiring out, then you just
then whoever was getting their ass kicked gets like a sudden burst.
Exactly. And so there's back and forth, and then Shawn brings Bret into the crowd and starts walloping him on him there too. So there's a bunch of that, and then there's an army of refs just trying to like get them back in the ring. There's like 8 of them. They're just like swatting the refs away. It's awesome. It's a spectacle. And they finally get back in the ring. It's amazing, dude. All the stuff. And so what I was going to say is, like, to your point, they must have to trust each other so much. Like, hey man, like I'm going to like twirl your legs around the, like, what do you call that thing? The turnbuckle or whatever.
Yes.
I'm going to do that. And then there's like a move where Bret grabs Shawn Michaels' legs and like twists him around the turnbuckle and then like hangs on him. And it's like, if you did that wrong, like you could really fuck somebody's like leg up. It's insane.
Hell
they're
yeah.
Jumping off the ropes. I mean, they're like throwing each other off the ropes and swinging back and forth. And like, they're doing like some like high intensity acrobatics.
Yeah.
And
high octane.
To go in there, it is high octane. And to go in there with a guy you fucking hate but still be like, hey man, I trust you not to like injure me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to go super hard and sell it, but I will not hurt you. That's pretty, I thought it was really interesting.
It is. I mean, yeah, like I would not want to go in with someone I hate and even do a group project with them, let alone get my ass kicked by them. Yeah, get walloped, as you said, in the crowd like 40 times.
Exactly. And it's crazy all the kind of choreography that they memorize.
Yeah. It is.
Like that the match was like 18 minutes long or something, and it's really kind of, like I said, they have to be very kind of careful about what they do so as not to injure the other person. But I was wondering if they just get in with each other and grab each other's hair and they're like, hey man, I'm about to like tombstone you, like just run with it. You know what I mean?
He's just like, put your head between my legs.
Yeah, exactly. It borders on questionable. Yeah. And so what I had noted here was they beat the fuck out of each other for a couple minutes. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is another thing that they always do, which is great, is they'll do a move that's like super effective, and the other guy's like out, and it's like you could just end the match right there if you just keep doing what you're doing.
Do that again.
But they always just like get up and just like walk around and like flip their hair back and like
the wet hair, like the Instagram girl like flicking the hair to get that one photo.
And the other guy's just writhing on the ground in pain, and so they always let each other recover. And then the count, the 1, 2, 3 count is awesome, dude.
It is. I used to love it when I think Diesel, Big Daddy Cool, BDC, I think he used to pin people just by kind of putting his foot on them.
His foot.
I always thought that was so sick. I was like, hell yeah, dude. He had like leather chaps on and just like putting his foot on some other dude. Like, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, the other guy's so concussed and like out that like he doesn't even need to be covered.
It's like, is this guy dead? I don't know. Let me put my foot on him.
Exactly.
Count it.
Exactly. And there was always like this great dramatic period too between 2 and 3. Like there was like 1, 2, and then I was just like, fuck. And then like last second they like kick out. Oh my god, so good.
So good. Also so frustrating to kick out. I remember being like, oh, come on. Like,
no, it's like
dude,
his
chill.
ass for so long, dude.
Yeah.
So, and one other thing I wanted to cover too, but like I said, my notes are all over the fucking place, was finishing maneuvers.
And how they
awesome, dude.
They're so sick. And like, it's so funny because you're trained as a fan watching it. They do the finishing move. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
Like every now and then it's not,
Stone
but
Cold
it's like
Stunner, done.
Sweet chin music, done. The tombstone, done. The pedigree, done. The sharpshooter, done. When done by Shawn Michaels.
That's, I think what you're getting at, is like sometimes the finishing move wouldn't work, and that's when everyone's like, whoa, like what's happening here?
Like this guy's because that's Superman.
Exactly, because that should be a guaranteed kill shot. Like I'm gonna grab you, put your head between my legs, jump in the air, drop down with both of our body weight, and just like cram your your neck into your like body. Like Tombstone's like insane.
Like, I'm just gonna kill you in a very weird way.
Exactly.
Like, can you imagine seeing a bar fight and someone just like I feel like those ones also would start with like a kick to the stomach. So the person was bending over, just grabbing their head and jamming it between their legs and then hoisting them up and dropping them down. It's insane.
It would be amazing if there was a serial killer that just went around tombstoning people.
Power bomb. Oh yeah, the tombstone. I was thinking power bombs, but yeah, or jackknife also. But yeah, tombstone. Deadly. Yeah, just like turtling someone back into their body.
Yeah, it's really insane. But
is the goal to break someone's like? Was he trying to kill people? What is the tombstone?
I think it's supposed to press your like spinal cord, so you're like paralyzed. Like
you're just like ow, ow.
That one's deadly, and gosh, I like. There's just so much to talk about. I have a list here. I can't even get to it. The Stone Cold Stunner. Well, no, I keep. It's just like I keep thinking of other things, and you do too. But like the Stone Cold Stunner was like, it just blew everyone's mind. I mean, that one's great too. It's like, okay, you come down, you just like cram their like trachea against your like against your shoulder.
Yeah.
I mean, it stuns them.
Dude, that one I never really got how that even hurt. It was just kind of like you're both jumping together and then landing on your back.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why was he not getting hurt? Just because he was holding the guy's head, like they were both suffering the same injury. I guess he's just like has his like big hand over their mouth and nose so they can't breathe.
Right. Exactly. And that's what a lot of the finishers are. And I'm gonna pull up some of my favorite finishers. I went through quite a few of them. And
finish him.
There we go, baby. This one's great. This one just kind of doesn't really make sense. And I'm gonna host disabled screen sharing.
Dude, there's got to be a fucking default. Yeah. We're getting there.
We'll get it
for the folks at home.
Whew. All right, so let me know when you can see my screen here.
I see it. It looks like I see is that Virgil? I see a bald man on the ground, and it looks like John Cena wearing black leather underpants, kind of approaching him.
I think that's right.
From behind.
So yeah, approaching is so. This is Saxtonation. This is the move.
What the fuck? Who is that?
Dude. No, dude, but that fucking move is so tight, dude. Look at that shit. What the fuck?
Who is that? That's cool. I love that reaction.
I don't know, man. I think he's a jobber. That's the one. This one's brutal. So this is, sorry for people just listening. That last one is just like, you just kind of like place your hand on the guy's like shoulder, and then he kind of just slams himself somehow.
Kind of had to be there to describe that last one.
Yeah. This one's a little easier to describe. This is Yokozuna, who was like listed as like 780 pounds, and he would just like sit on
the
your
stink
head.
Face, right? It was this.
Yeah.
Did he call it the stink face?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Watch how brutal this is, dude. It's like he like comes down really fucking hard on this guy. So he jumps up on the turnbuckle.
Yeah. Got a nice rack.
Dude, that's like insane.
Like
that could cause serious injury. He breaks his fall very slightly with his legs.
It's still like, buffering for me.
Oh, damn it.
So let me bring the show to a halt. So, yeah, here we go, baby. All right, yeah.
All right, I'm putting it in slow motion. Is that playing?
Yeah.
All right.
It worked.
Watch this, dude.
Oh,
this is outrageous.
So yeah, this isn't the stink face, but this is very. It probably stinks. I mean, it's probably disgusting.
God, dude, that is so bad.
Yeah, that is so gnarly.
Yeah, he just jumps on the guy's chest, and he has to just kind of take. I mean, I'm sure he's a jobber, and he just fucking eats ass when he goes.
Loser.
Yeah, can you imagine being a jobber? You show up for work, you go up on the list. You see fucking Yokozuna.
Yeah,
you're your opponent for the night.
So how's he gonna beat me? Is he gonna do that thing where he like puts his ass on me and just kind of like sits?
Yeah.
Yokozuna, man, he had some big legs. Holy cow! I didn't remember that.
Dude, he was fucking monstrous. And then I've got one last finisher to share.
Yeah,
which is the Great Khali. I don't know if you remember this guy, but he was monstrous.
I don't know if I do.
Dude, Khali was sick. All right, so his move was the brain chop.
Irish guy, Khali?
No, very not Irish. Here he is.
Brain chop.
Right.
Okay.
There he is.
Oh yeah, this guy.
Yeah, he was a freak, man.
Oh yeah.
You just squeeze people's like heads. But this move, wait till you see the karate chop. Look at this shit. Boom.
Oh.
Out, dude. Undertaker,
Randy Orton,
out.
Undertaker, Bruce Lee.
Dude, a karate chop right to the top of the head.
That would not be good. I also like the move where he was just squeezing the guy's head together.
Yeah, that's better. That
like,
is a better move.
What was Khalib's story? What was it, Khalib or Khalid?
It's the Great Khali. It's Khali.
Oh,
and he was just this monstrous Middle Eastern fella. But apparently he was like couldn't move in the ring. So they like I read up on him a little bit, and he was like a sensation at first because he's so just physically imposing.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, he just like couldn't move because he was like too big. So they were like, sorry, man, like we can't keep around.
We'd love to keep you. I mean, we love the thing where you squeeze the face, but you can't move. So
yeah, exactly.
That's a big requirement of this profession.
Exactly. So yeah, it's honestly it's a miracle that Yokozuna was able to last for so long. I mean, God,
you think he's dead?
So physically taxing. Oh, I'm 100%, dude.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
I think like every wrestler that we've featured on the show so far is dead.
I know. I was bummed. I saw that Razor Ramon's dead
dude.
when I was looking this
Is
up.
He really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
this
that.
year. I think he died like very recently.
I did hear about that. Scott Hall, right? That's his name.
Scotty Hall. Scotty Too Hottie Hall.
Dude, he was so fucking cool. Honestly, I think he might have been my favorite as a kid.
Mine too, dude.
Really?
It was really between him and, like I said, Shawn Michaels, Diesel as a partnership. I really thought they were like the shit. But yeah, they all ended up being boys, right?
Oh yeah,
NWO.
All the tough guys, yeah. All the tough guys got together.
Or was that DX? I'm so dumb, dude. I was like, what was Scott Hall in? Was he in NWO?
I think he ended up joining NWO, which was so that
was WCW, like him and Hulk Diesel and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, they were the three like bad boys of the WCW.
And that was around the time when that's like Vince McMahon was getting super worried about Bret Hart leaving because those guys had just left to WCW, and he's like, fuck, like take this 1.5 mil, like forget about that 3 mil almost that they're gonna give you. But
right. Yeah, WCW was about to run away with it. I remember as a kid, they used to have the conflicting time slots on Monday night or whatever. They would go up against each other.
Yep.
And the only time we would switch from WWF to WCW was
Sting?
with Goldberg. No,
Goldberg. Okay.
Yeah, I remember him. He would just like, he was undefeated. That was the thing, because that was a whole new concept to wrestling fans.
Yeah, like undefeated. Holy shit! Like they wrote him to be undefeated.
Yeah, he's just like working jobbers. But then he would take on the big dogs. He was starting to take them down too. But do you know the tie-in between Bret the Hitman Hart and Goldberg?
No, please.
Goldberg ended Bret the Hitman Hart's career.
Like for real?
Yes, by injuring him
with a finishing move.
Yeah, he fucking tombstoned him. His career.
Did Goldberg just spear people? Was that his finishing move? Or was that him or The Rock? What did The Rock?
No, The Rock was like the people's elbow.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, Goldberg would just like spear. He would just tackle you, and you were like knocked out somehow.
Like, just knock the wind out of you and then pin you.
Exactly.
Just because you brought up Razor Ramon, do you remember his vignettes, like his little things? I don't know if I remember
about that. You mean like the backstage, like just talking smack?
Well, that, but also what they used to do. I don't know if they still do this. I'm assuming they do, but is when they're about to introduce a new character who is going to be like, you're going to want to know this guy. He's going to be like one of the guys.
He's going to be good. Yeah.
They would do like these little 30-second clips just randomly, like on Monday Night Raw or something, where it would be like in between matches, like all of a sudden it would just clip to like something. And and I found this one today. I didn't save it, but I'll just pull it up on YouTube real quick.
And while you're pulling that up, I remember always loving when they'd introduce somebody new, and the announcers like JR would be like, "Who is this guy?
Who is he? Oh my goodness!
Yeah, oh my God, who is this guy?" They would like, they sold it so much, and you're just like,
yeah, dude.
And as a kid, so like, what? Like as a kid, you just thought that some like random guy ran in with the Speedo and just started like kicking the Undertaker's ass, and like no one knew it was gonna happen. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
I loved it. Like then Jerry Lawler like acted like he knew who. If it was a bad guy, he'd be like, "Oh, you don't know who this guy is, JR." Like it was like, okay, but you do somehow. He
was plugged into like the seedy underbelly of like wherever these people were coming from.
So here's just one random one I found. This is Razor Ramon vignette called "Chicas Are for Fun."
Do we have our volume?
I think so. Can you hear it?
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah! The little girl on his forehead.
Take a look at Razor Ramon. I'm living the good life, man.
Caricature.
Me, I know how to relax, Chico.
What was Scott Hall's
I'm
ethnicity?
living like a
last
king.
night.
What's this?
I called you never called me back. I thought we had something going.
No, Chica, you don't understand. You have something. You have a good time. I'm through with you now. Get out of here. I'm through with you. Adios.
Scram, bitch.
Man,
Get the fuck out of here.
the chicas, they're for fun. I probably scar her heart for life. That's too bad. I'm coming to the WWF.
It's like still 30 seconds left.
Not for fun. You step into the ring with Razor Ramon.
Ramon.
It's strictly business, Chico. I'm not going to scar your heart.
All right, dude, you get a little long in there, Razor, but you get the idea. Like,
oh my god,
like just
dude.
like oh, this like sick womanizer with the Superman curl and the toothpick behind his ear and the like 6 gold chains in the vest.
Fuck yeah, dude. Just hanging out by the pool with a leather vest on for some reason.
Blonde babe. That
Yeah.
that woman would never talk to this guy.
Yeah, I know.
Is
Weird freak hanging by the pool.
was he supposed to be Cuban, like from Miami? Like what was his character?
I don't know, dude.
What was that? Like he's talking almost
Spanish or something?
Yeah, he's like Razor Ramon. I was looking up. There's like so many. Obviously, they play on tropes and stereotypes for a lot of the character stuff, but like
Yeah.
a lot of times it's people that are playing characters that they should not be playing, and I'm wondering if this is an example. I mean,
Well,
he's
like
pretty.
the JD.
Who's
Junkyard
JD?
Dog.
Oh yeah, the Junkyard Dog.
Yeah.
There's a few there. Let's see, Scott Hall. This is the Googling segment. I just need to know.
Everybody sit tight.
Yeah, let's go Wikipedia.
But
Dude,
the
he was-
themes are. God, sorry.
He was born in Maryland.
Oh, interesting.
Cool.
All right.
Died in Georgia.
Yeah.
In between, he played he was billed as though he was from Miami. Dude, he weighed 287. He was 6'7".
Scott Hollis?
I thought of him as like,
Skull Hole?
yeah, I was like, he's like my height.
Dude, the weights, they had a bunch of the bills of the weights, like I guess they'd have like a card or a bill, whatever you call it.
Yeah,
the weights, I think in some circumstances were a little exaggerated.
it had to be
Like
good.
they had like Yokozuna at like 500 pounds or something. He probably is close. They had some like
Yeah.
Vader, they had him as like 480 pounds or something. It's like
There's no
he's
way
probably
Vader.
320.
Yeah,
Yeah.
max.
But Scott Hall was a
Um,
big boy, dude. I didn't realize he was always next to fucking Big Nasty Nash or whatever the hell his name was. And,
Big Dick Cool.
Big Daddy. Big Cock Cool.
Yeah, big dick cock.
Big
Um,
Dick Cock.
I think that Scott Oliver Hall. I mean, the name doesn't match the accent, but I could be wrong. I don't mean to assume.
No, I mean, who knows? But the
Yeah.
themes are awesome. Jim Dugan. Do you remember Jim Dugan? He just carried like a 2x4 around.
The hacksaw. Yeah, just
Hacksaw,
wearing a
Jim
pair of blue
Dugan.
panties with a 2x4.
Yeah.
Like, was his shtick that he's dumb? Like, was that?
Yeah, he's just like a fucking.
He always had like this dumbass
Just
look on his
slow
face. I remember.
farmer. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like the tall dude from Of Mice and Men. I don't know why I'm blanking.
Exactly.
On the name right now.
George or is it
Lenny and George.
Lenny and
Yeah.
George.
Lenny
Something
sounds like the
that.
one who would be the idiot.
Lenny's the not. Exactly. And then Jake the Snake was great too. He just had like a boa constrictor.
Yeah,
Do you remember him?
I do. Jake the Snake Roberts, Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man.
Dude, $1 Million Man was so tight.
Do you remember that guy Irvin R. Shyster, IRS?
Oh no. Irvin R. Shyster.
I have no idea how to spell. Look up IRS wrestler.
Oh, dude, yes. Mike Rotunda. Wait. Irwin R. Shyster. I do remember this guy. And dude, we used to play a board game as a kid. It was like a wrestling board game, my friends and I. And he was always on there, but I never saw him live, dude. I was robbed of seeing him live.
I don't know if I did either. I think I had like a Game Gear game or something. Or
Yeah,
like
he was just like on
like,
marketing stuff.
Yeah, same with like Papa Shango. Do you remember him?
Papa Shango?
Yeah, it's Shango.
Oh.
So I guess in
Wow.
1992, Papa
Witch
Shango
doctor.
was may have not have been 1992. Some year it was nominated as the worst shtick of all time in WWE. It was Papa Shango.
That is bad. Do you remember Doink?
Doink the Clown? Yes.
Yeah, he was awesome, dude. And he had there was like a mini Doink too. There was like a midget that would like accompany him.
Yeah. Wasn't it? Wasn't it right. Doink and Dink?
Doink and Dink, dude. That's so fucking awesome.
So
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Was Doink was Doink a bad guy or a good guy? Like, was he a heel or a baby face?
A face. There we go, baby. There we go. I don't know. It's a good question. I think he was a villain because he would I remember him like puking green, or he would like make his opponents puke green. Do you remember that?
I think Papa Shango did that too. I think he made him puke black.
Really?
Someone was making somebody puke, and it wasn't just Mankind.
Yikes, dude.
No, I don't remember.
Mankind was great too.
Yeah, he'd like make people like cough up foam.
He was brutal, dude.
He's like, let me just stick my finger in your mouth.
Oh yeah, that was his finishing move. What was it called? Like the stink finger or something?
The mandible claw.
Yeah,
is that what it was?
Oh, would he just like pull your cheeks apart? Oh no, he just like shove his hand his hand on your throat, dude.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Oh,
with that nasty like
it was stinky ass sock.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't he tour as a comedian or like a speaker now at comedy clubs?
Yeah, I heard him on, I can't remember what podcast, but a couple of them do that. I think
I know
Stone Cold is a big he has a big podcast. Mick Foley tours and does like a stage show or something.
Who's the other guy? Roddy Piper, I think, was like a Comedy Store fixture. He would like hang there.
Oh, really?
Who was the other guy you said?
Stone Cold?
No, the other one.
Doink?
No, I don't remember.
Dink has a podcast?
Yeah, yes, Stone Cold. I heard that did you see that there was supposed to be some TV show with Stone Cold that was written by Dan Soder?
No.
Yeah, apparently I saw something on maybe Instagram or TikTok of Dan Soder like going off about some network that isn't greenlighting some cartoon that he wrote with Stone Cold and another guy who I feel horrible that I'm not remembering the third guy's name because I'm sure he's equally as like involved, but apparently it's been like going on
appealing to the right or something.
I don't think so. I have no idea. It's supposed to be dark is all that he was saying.
It was written by Soder and Dan St. Germain.
Thank you. Yes.
That sounds familiar, but I don't know who that is.
The name definitely sounds familiar, but I can't place it.
Yeah.
Sorry, DSG.
Sorry, dude.
What else you got on wrestling?
I don't know, man. We've been all over the place. We didn't even really actually talk about the screw job that much, but
let's talk about it.
Really matter. So, for those at home, I guess we'll continue the story. So, Bret the Hitman Hart gets put into a sharpshooter, his own special move. Shawn Michaels puts him in the sharpshooter. The ref gets up sooner than he's supposed to. He's supposed to be still knocked out from this move that had preceded. And so he gets up and all of a sudden like just calls it. And Vince McMahon's on the side going, ring the bell. And then and like Bret clearly didn't tap. Just a travesty. He's clearly like trying to get out. He's about to tap Shawn Michaels, and they're both like, what the fuck? Well, Shawn Michaels is acting.
Playing. Yeah.
But they're like, play. But he's like, what the fuck's going on? He spits, as you talked about earlier, he spits just a nasty dart of a loogie right onto Vince McMahon's eye. He's wiping it off. Shawn Michaels leaves. It's chaos.
He like walks off in a huff. I don't get why Shawn Michaels is trying to act like he was pissed. Like, I know that
he's like,
they thought
he won the championship, dude.
Yeah. They thought that Bret Hart would kick his ass in real life if he knew that he was in on it. Like on TV, and then WWF would be left with this like pussy ass champion that just got really his ass kicked, and then by a guy that left.
There was like some other guy that was involved that was like teaching Shawn Michaels like defensive holds. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
So there was some guy that was like, here's some defensive holds in case like Bret comes after you after the match. Like they were like training him like real world like fighting tactics to like protect himself.
That's insane, dude.
I know. So Shawn Michaels leaves, the ring, the arena, whatever, and Bret Michaels, and that's when the pay-per-view just cuts.
Bret Michaels,
and then
the dude from Poison.
And then what's that?
You said Bret Michaels, which is the singer of Poison. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm all over the
from
place.
Rock of Love. No, I love it.
I'm all over the place. I'm sorry, dude.
I don't know why I hadn't even thought of Bret Michaels in the context of Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, but keep going, please.
So Shawn Hart is in the no, but so Bret the Hitman Hart is still in the ring. So that's when the pay-per-view cuts.
Yes,
but the chaos continues. Bret the Hitman Hart leaves the ring, starts grabbing the like monitors, starts trashing them, just causing chaos, causing a scene, blah blah blah,
and like goes, for real doing it.
For real, like actually pissed. Does like the WCW, like writes out WCW, like all this stuff just goes off.
Yeah.
And then they go into the locker room, and you probably saw some of the same. Thank you. for those listening, Bret Michaels has made an appearance. And then they go into the locker room. This part was great. So everyone's pissed. All the wrestlers are like, "What the fuck? Like, if you can get screwed, then I can get screwed too." Yeah. And Undertaker's like, who's just the fucking man. Hey. Undertaker's like, "I'm gonna go get Vince McMahon."
Oh.
So he leaves and goes, and can you imagine like Vince McMahon sitting in his office and the Undertaker fucking opens the door and just like
Paul Bearers, so and they're like, "Oh, you fucked up. You fucked up."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Vince is like, "Is this fucking real? What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And they drag him in, and apparently there's a scuffle ensues, and Hitman like decks him.
Yeah,
decks
for real.
Vince McMahon, like for real, and like knocks him out and breaks his ankle somehow. Just like,
his punch is like, oh, like his
like,
unrelated, but ouch.
Right, but just like a really fucking intense, a series of events. And it just shook the wrestling world. And then I frankly, I don't know what happened after that. I guess Hart just went to the WCW, and then what, it kicked off the Attitude Era.
End of the story, dude. Yeah, no, I think that it was also just like such a big turning point in that they had never really talked about wrestling being fake, like, and so it was a big thing that Bret Hart and Vince McMahon were both being like open about it, like, yeah, I mean, like, he thought this was going to happen like pre-scripted, but like it didn't happen. And so like the guy you played earlier, people are like, wait, what? And then
right,
it kind of opened the doors for this like even more wild thing that wrestling became, or like WWF became super successful. Vince McMahon started taking steroids and got jacked as shit. Dude, and then was so like jacked. The villain against Stone Cold. It was just, it really changed things. It was like family friendly-ish before, right. I guess. But
it was very much, even though it was, like I said, it was brutally violent. Like these guys are like beating the fuck out of each other, like slamming each other's heads off of like the stairs. Like, it's brutal. But yeah, then it got really raunchy, where like they're drinking beer, like very sexual. Like the major theme of the entire thing was just like suck my cock for like a long time. Like you had kids across America just doing like the suck my cock, like
the same thing Shawn Michaels did to the Canadian flag.
Exactly. Like, can you imagine parents being like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I just had like an 8-year-old tell me to like suck his cock.
It's like, wait, what? Imagine like being a parent just completely checked out and taking your kid to this event and just being like, seeing everyone doing it, like your son doing it, and just being like, like, wait, no, what's that thing where they all like slap their knees kind of with their arms crossed? It's like, suck it. Like, it's, I don't know, it's funny shit.
Yeah, I guess for people that aren't familiar, we're probably just assuming everyone knows what we're talking about, but there was like, I don't know, of all things to explain. There's a big movement in WWF where this crew, it was NWA, was it? Or wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Ice Cube and Eazy-E.
Wait, what was the group that was doing it? Oh, it was D-Generation X.
And
wasn't it DX?
Yes, it was definitely, because they were making an X with their arms to make the motion.
And their move was to slap their arms, as you said, against kind of like their like groin area and just say like, suck it. Yeah.
Great. China. Almost
China,
everyone that we've
dude.
been talking about ended up in that except for Bret Hart. So it was who was
Yeah.
and by everyone I mean like 3 or 4, but it was China, Shawn Michaels, Diesel,
There was
Triple
like a
H.
Road Dog guy.
Yeah, what was that guy like?
I'm pulling
Some
up the
guy with
roster now.
a thick goatee. Rick Rude, was that who it was?
I don't know, but I think there was like King Ass, I think was his name.
Who?
Hang on, I'll show you. Oh, the way they describe him is the rudest stable in wrestling history. I'll share my screen.
Hell yeah.
So rude, dude. So this is King. I think this guy's name is King Ass. This guy here.
Wait, who is that guy?
Triple H, Shawn Michaels, China, X-Pac. He was the other star of A Night in China. Road Dogg, and then Billy Gunn.
I think
that's Billy Gunn.
Is it Badass Billy Gunn? That has kind of a ring to it.
Maybe that's his name. Yeah. Montreal Screwjob. There you go.
Hell yeah.
The feud. Oh, so there was a feud between DX and the Hart Foundation. Dude, look at this crew, man. China, what a beauty, man.
The cool kids table.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, these are the bad boys. Look at them coming in. Look at this. I mean,
dude, that can you like? I want to see that guy actually getting up into that. Like, is he just like mean mugging the crowd, like slowly getting into like this pike position on top of the turnbuckle?
Such a fucking rebel that he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna like put my feet up. I'm sure that's very comfortable up there.
Yeah, like that's such a inconvenient position to be in.
Exactly.
If something did start to go down,
Yeah.
he would either like fold in like a beach chair and then like hit the ground tailbone first, or just like fumble through the whatever.
Oh my god. But yeah, they were a great crew. D-Generation X, Kane was involved. Oh, Kane speaks. Interesting. I'm just scrolling through something and just like bring up random shit. Sorry. For the people listening at home, don't know what the fuck is going on. But anyways, we've gone way over. We're coming up on 2 minutes left on the second Zoom session. There's just so much to cover with wrestling. I got way too excited through both of those segments.
It was so good, dude.
Oh my god.
Me too. We're gonna have to, like I said, come up with more excuses to talk about wrestling.
100%.
We've got a couple ideas in the works we're talking about. We might cover the Benoit case at some point.
That gets a little spicy.
Yeah, it gets a little bit spicy.
I've heard.
That one's a little bit more real than the screw job.
Yeah, a little more real.
But
I don't know, man. To me, the screw job is more emotional.
Yeah, that's true. That was more reactional or instinctual.
I don't know. When I read about that, it just hit me a little harder than the murder suicide
than the Bowflex killings. Yeah. Yeah, the screw job was tough, dude. And
was, man.
Yeah, if you're ever feeling emo about it, you can just watch that Tell Me a Lie Shawn Michaels farewell video.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
We
got less than a minute.
I think that'll do it. Another one down. Great topic. One of the classic topics.
3.
We'll cut it there. Perfect. Later.